And this clown show continues. Guys, welcome to the channel, and we're going to be reacting together to Inside Star Citizen Dev Diary Gavin Rothery. Okay.
It's no secret that Star Citizen is an ambitious game, trying to build
No, it's not.
a first-person universe of varied experiences across multiple star systems. But at its core will always be the spaceship. And the process of making a spaceship always begins with the concept artist. And we've had no shortage of greats contribute to our legacy of vehicles. From Star Wars superstars like Ryan Church and David Hobbins, to Star Trek luminaries like Jim Martin. From the art departments of Godzilla, Matrix, Blade Runner, and Dune like Emmanuel Shui.
They have no shame. Dropping Blade Runner and Star Wars, you people are shameless. You should be ashamed of yourselves. That mess that this thing is right now, master modes, you ruined the only thing worthy of your project, service, online service, dash never-ending alpha game. And it is embarrassing.
And George Hull, to the dedicated CIG legends like Paul Jones and Alberto Petronio, and a whole
everyone worthy left.
Host of folks in between too numerous to mention. The origin of our spacecraft are as numerous as their manufacturers. But there's one person who's participated in the birth of more Star Citizen spacecraft than any other. With more than 20 vehicles to his name so far, he bridges the gaps between manufacturers and has helped to define or refine many of their styles over the years. And in this year's special Ship Showdown showcase, we brought the prolific Gavin Rothery into our office for your chance to meet the man and celebrate just a fraction of his contribution to this project. And because I just think he's neat. Let's go.
I've got toothpaste on. I've got toothpaste flakes. I think working as a concept artist is great. I like the way I get to spend time with my dogs. I really appreciate that. I've got my dogs around me all day. I get my spaceships, my dogs, and I get to come up to Manchester and hang out with you guys for a bit. It's awesome. Can you get it? Here's toothpaste flakes.
Beautiful.
Oh, I'll do.
That's right.
I'm an artist.
Is this the guy responsible for the Polaris, the $750 ship, not having pilot control guns at all? You can't fire missiles, you can't shoot a damn P-gun, nothing. You don't have any weapons at all as a pilot of a $750 fake video game ship? Is this the guy we have to... Oh dear God. The raft. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is pretty, right? It is good looking. Now, completely useless? 100% completely useless. This is the kind of thing that you buy in game and never fucking fly. There's no point to it. I mean, there's no point to any ship as of right now in Star Citizen. But this one, even when it was playable, complete waste of time. Absolute shit. It is pretty, so it's not on him, but... Another completely useless ship.
So a concept artist is usually a human. That might change. We've seen these AIs. They're coming for us.
Yeah, they are.
So a concept artist is an artist who comes in at the start of a job and works to a technical brief, which is often just writing. There might be a few reference images in there occasionally. We don't really tend to work like that. We'll just get a technical brief and you've got to come there and you've just got to realise things. Usually you're working somewhat in isolation. There's base touching with like art directors and such, but like a lot of my job is me just working at home in my studio, just kind of getting on with things, having like regular touch-ins. And
the guy works from home. That's nice for him. That's great. Again, it's not against this guy in particular. Based that he works at home, he probably has very little to do with the company in general. But he's an artist. He creates beautiful ships. He creates beautiful ships that have no purpose in the mess of a game that these people pretend to make. This pretending of making a video game which when lawyers show up, when lawyers and the law shows up, it's not really a game. It's more like an online service which you signed up for, and there's no obligation to deliver anything at all because it's already delivered, meaning you fly around your useless ship. So he makes a pretty ship and you buy it. I think that's about to end. There's no point in, no matter how pretty it is, no matter how beautiful it is, if it's completely useless, and they are, there's no point. It doesn't matter how pretty that JPEG is.
And that sounds weird. Touching base frequently and just pushing the design forward, basically. So I'm given a brief and a deadline, and I'm expected to metamorphosize that brief into something that can fulfill that brief and look really cool on the clock. There's a few things that make a good concept artist, really. You've got to be able to get along with people and fit into a team. That's first and foremost, because it's more remote, so it can take longer to get relationships going with people. So that stuff becomes more important. A game project particularly, there's lots of things changing in development, so you've got to be able to approach your work with a mindset of not being too precious about it. You can do a bunch of work on things and it can all be beautiful, and that could just completely change and you have to do something else which is beautiful, and you've got to just be able to wake up every morning and kind of deliver that. Whenever you see a good concept artist, you'll be looking at somebody that is able to do that and figured it out in their life. So Star Citizen is a very unique beast. I've been in the games industry for a long time. I've worked in movies, I've been around the block, I've done stuff. Star Citizen is one of those projects that's got such definitively harsh metrics that you need to fit that I've never worked on another project like it. You can look at the Millennium Falcon, it looks pretty on the outside, it looks pretty on the inside. Those two things don't go together. So with Star Citizen, everything has to fit. And I remember when I first started doing some...
What's the point of this? Are they gonna have interviews with their bankers, with their lawyers? Yeah, we get lots of complaints about the scam. So yeah, we have a great team of lawyers. Are we gonna... What is this in terms of for us? What is it that we get from this?
One of the biggest ships, many years ago, that was a new thing to me because other projects don't really consider that. They'll have, once you're inside a ship, you're basically inside a magic little universe, and things can be completely different scales, and people generally don't worry about that stuff too much. With Star Citizen, it's all cohesive and it all has to fit. And so when we're designing it, we'll start with the exterior. We always do options for things. So the first week, a range of things in there, try and make them all quite different. Quite often you'll have a favourite, but that doesn't really matter because that might not be the way the ship ends up going. And then ultimately, whichever way it ends up going, that becomes your favourite because you work on it more and it comes to life. And then once we have that kind of, and quite often there'll be bits sticking out and we'll need to have a second pass over the exterior just to finish it all up and just put all the nice little polish and sort of spank sure you can deliver. So I need to make sure that my concepts have got all of the things that the build team are going to need, that the players are ultimately going to want. So I've got to consider things like components, metrics, heights of handles, heights of steps. To Keyshot. I'll take my mail file into Keyshot. Keyshot's a product presentation 3D package specialising in beauty renders. So I can just get in there with materials. I've done this for such a long time and on so many ships now, I've got all my material libraries set for the different brands and stuff, so I can be Aries. Because it's just, I love doing that. It's got that classic black and white sci-fi look. It's just...
Yeah, no, I'm not even being ironic. It looks beautiful. Well done. Too bad that there's no game to play this thing in, right? You make a ship that looks beautiful, flies like shit, everything flies like shit. Now, it's not on him. He just makes the concept art, which is good. Guys, let's make this short, sweet, and to the point. CIG, Chris Roberts, they're masters at monetizing and getting your money. So they hire very talented people in the things that they want, and then they hire complete clowns for the things that they don't care about. So you don't have a game, but they want to sell ships. And if you're going to sell ships, given that they're not actual spaceships, it's still very much a video game, right? You get that? It just needs to look cool. So they hire people to make things look awesome, and you buy that awesome looking ship, and then you virtually lubricate it and stick it up your ass, because there's no use for this thing given that we don't have a damn game. You get where I'm going at? And then they hire the best monetization people that work in some of the shadiest, shittiest video games, like in cell phone and all of that horrible soul-crushing crap, but they're very good at it. They're very good at getting every single cent out of every little thing, making you think that the next ship is going to be a lot more fun, that's going to be better, it's going to be faster and deadlier and cooler, and you're going to have more status because you have this or that. All of that, even the psychology of how all of this works.
It's the Bjork All Is Full of Love music video. It's that classic cool. And that was a real pleasure working on the raft.
Yeah, the raft looks nice, but it's complete garbage.
Like, good job. And there is an element of 9 to 5 to it. I don't have to be at a desk at 9 o'clock every morning. I don't have to commute. I get to spend all
Yeah, it's great. It's great for him. Yeah, working from home is fucking awesome.
day
It's
with my
fantastic.
dogs. I've got 2 little Westie friends.
So he has his dogs. Again, it's nice for him. Great.
And
So what did we learn this week? Well, no
Nothing.
doubt that many of your all-time favorite spacecraft sprang forth from the efforts of Gavin.
Okay, so we have nothing at all. We have nothing. We just learned, yes, we did learn something there. Our good old friends from CIG just basically confirmed that we won't see Pyro this year. Pyro is not happening this year, probably not happening next year either. But hey, let's just pretend that next year is Road to Pyro, okay? See you next time.